Well, hey, congratulations for the Blackout.
Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you.
thank you for speaking with us. We all know the movie's already been out, so I'm sure a lot you have been receiving a lot of great reception.
Yeah, it's been great. I've been getting phone calls pretty much every night at 8 or 9, depending on where people's kids go to bed and stuff. But it's been really nice to hear how everyone is really moved by it, and touched by it. And I always ask the same question: what was your favorite moment or thing? And I love how everyone says, a different thing, and everyone resonates with one character more than other. It's so fascinating. It becomes like the full circle. It's you make movies for people to watch them, and it's so nice when you start hearing how people receive them. It's really special.
That is awesome. Hey, Rob, why did you want to participate in a project like this?
Because of Daniela. I met her. We went for a walk in a park, and it was unlike any audition I'd been on before, because it was just kind of a authentic viewing of one another's auras, ethos, and she felt just like a really confident and collaborative artist, and that's always the type of person I want to work with, and I'm like grateful when they feel the same way. So also, it felt like a fun not experiment, because it was guided and very organized, but also like a fun approach to filmmaking that I thought I might be able to bring a skill set to that could help. So period. End of answer. I'll keep talking, man, and I gotta realize it's important to shut up.
Hey, Daniela, obviously the Storm Sandy was sort of an inspiration to this, but the conversations that actually is carried on, through the events, how did you come up with that? Because there are so many different stories, especially during that confessional scene, which I felt like it was like a Canterbury tale-ish type of scene.
Yes, for sure. I wanted to make sure that everyone was really authentic and truthful. And it wasn't a big movie. It was a small indie feature. And we literally didn't have the time or the money to do more than one take, for instance, in that particular scene, because there's so many actors, And so I told them, we only have time for one take each. But what I said was, this is how it would be in real life anyways. You would only get one chance at telling your story. You wouldn't be like, oh, I messed up, can I start again? It's like, no, that's not how it is in real life. So they totally brought it in. There was like a small description of everyone's situation for the most part, but actors brought their own imagination and their own contribution, and they co-created the characters with me based on a very loose description that I had in the script. And so it was very collaborative. We kind of workshopped the scenes and the moments together based on that guideline, or the skeleton of the story was the scriptman that I wrote, but everyone contributed and brought themselves, to create what we did together. So it was really awesome.
Then that actually leads me back to Rob. Rob, how did you want to handle your character for that situation during the confessional tale?
As honestly as I could, and I think Josh's story was had a lot of guilt and shame attached to a choice that he made when he was younger, and frankly, I'm in recovery. So I have a lot of choices that I would love to redo. So I connected with that aspect of it, and tried to be as honest as I could around the feelings behind it, if not, directly the actual given circumstances of it. But You know, Daniela kept saying, you know, never mind. I'm not going to joke around with this answer, but there's more time to joke around with others.
Daniela, everybody had their emotional tale, but why do you wanted to stop short with Jen, that character?
Actually, it's interesting that you asked that question. We she did it. She had a story that she told, but in post we were trying to actually build more the story between Jen and Josh, Rob's character. So we went back into the footage, and we thought, how can we enhance that storyline and make it more, you know, real and vivid for the audience. So we kind of drew some moments that were not there, and one of the moments that we found was, why don't we have Jen, you know, be cut short in telling her story, and then Josh, we did an ADR. Remember, Rob? We ADR the scenes when you guys are drying the dishes. We ADR all of that dialogue, which is a minimal dialogue exchange, but I had them. Remember when we were doing the scene, Rob kept trying to joke around when they're drying, and I was like, no. There's time for joking, but this is not a time for doing. I want you to be drying dishes. But Jenna, their body language changed, and it was so beautiful. And I love. It's one of those moments where I was like, I don't want to cut. I don't want to cut. I want them to keep doing this. It was so lovely. And then that's when we found the moments, you know, for them to say, oh, you didn't get. Josh tells her, you didn't get to finish your story, I'm sorry. And she's like, oh, you noticed? And I was like, yeah, I want to hear it. Really? Yeah, always. And you know, it's nothing, but it's everything. And it tells you the story of these two, you know, getting closer. And then, you know, moments like Rob sneezing, that happened for real. He sneezed for real, only the camera was not on him. So we had got everyone's reaction except for him sneezing. So then he had to do it again. But making the Blackout was about being so present in the moment and open for those situations to really come through, you know, and for us to be there to capture them, or to be, you know, awake enough to notice them. You know what I mean? It was such a lovely collaboration. Everyone was so generous with one another, you know, and you can tell, I'm so proud of this movie because I feel that prints, you know, you can feel it. There's something different about it. And I think it's the way we were all there, like, one take, this is the one, it's going to count, you know. We were not there like, oh, we'll do it a million times. Like, no, we are so present and so in the moment that's how these subtleties came through, you know.
So what's the you know, like the Sandy song and the you know, the impressionist dance moves, was that all one take? Was that all at the moment too?
It wasn't like it just happened, you know. Sydney, who's a dancer, is a professional dancer. I hired an amazing choreographer, Dina Thompson, who created this beautiful choreography for us. And so it's kind of like a mixture of both. So that dance was rehearsed, but of course it was rehearsed in a different space because we were shooting the apartment, so nobody rehearsed there really. And she adapted, you know, a few moves, or she would pick the ones, you know, that she would choose to dance with, etc. But the song, when I met with Jocelyn Jensen, who plays Ryan, she showed me that song because she was in Brooklyn when Sandy happened, and she had composed this song. So I said, oh, that's perfect, because I want a song, you know. I was thinking, oh, I will need to come up with a song that they all start singing together, and because of royalties and rights, you know, we couldn't afford like a famous song or anything. So it was great. It was, when she sang it to me in the cafe, I was like, you're hired. It was so great. You know, she was amazing, but also her song was perfect for the mood and the tone that I wanted for that scene. And then, you know, I wanted to tell you one more thing about the Jen Josh story that I just remembered. When we said, okay, let's not have her finish her story, then Josh will ask her about it. And then when she reveals her truth, you know, the secret that she's been really keeping from people is that she cheated on, you know, I don't want to give it away, but you know what I mean? That moment is became much more important or significant, meaningful, you know, so that she tells her best friend about that thing. So everything happened like that. Everything that you asked. It's a mixture of me, you know, being, you know, really attentive to these things that will work, and like constructing, building the story moments together, but also being open to the magic of what could happen, you know, when everyone is really present.
And the rooftop scene where everyone actually went out and Sandy storm was actually hitting. How did you recreate that? And Rob, how wet did you get?
We all got wet. We all got wet. I'm sure that I got the least wet because I am the personification of my wiener dogs. I touch water and I'm like, ew. That was the only real scene with effects, and it was done very safely and well, but there was a lot of water for sure. And it was also really fun. We were in the same room a lot too. So it was like, for all of us, it was like fun to be in a new place, you know, with like different stuff happening. But yeah, we all got wet. And Daniela was like, put more water on them, more water, make the water colder. That water's not cold enough. We're like, why does she want it so cold? And you know, she likes punishing her actors. I'm kidding.
Torturing.
She directs with her heart, and she's always worries about the ensemble, and it was great. But that was a fun sequence. Yeah, thanks for asking about it.
Yeah, it was so fun to make. And I remember it was so cold for LA. It was really cold that night. Remember, Rob? It was really cold. So they were truly freezing, which was perfect for me. But I didn't have to torture them.
There you go. See? I kept hearing over the radio, should we turn the heat up? And Danielle being like, copy that. No. Air conditioning. We're like, what?
That's my style. The mean director. The main directress.
Excellent. Well, let me wrap it up with one more question with the both of you. I like to ask everybody, because obviously the world has gone bonkers, as we know, as we're speaking virtually. How are you staying sane and creative during times like this?
One last.
Who wants to start?
Gig, sorry,
hey, Gig,
we missed
Gig,
your
you
question.
froze, bro. Can you?
Oh, did I froze? Okay.
Yeah.
What I basically was asking was, because the world has gone bonkers, how are you staying sane and creative during times like this?
You want to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know that I am. I think someone's at the door to take me. You know, I take everything one day at a time, and I just do the next right thing. That's how I do it. And some days I'm really creative, some days I'm not, and I allow myself room to not have to write that pilot that I have time to write. You know, I think for Daniela she's way more prolific than I am, but I think there's a lot of pressure on artists to constantly create anyway. And now that there's like time to do it, there's even more, and we're all trying to deal with stress. So I've just allowed myself to be like, if I feel inspired, I do something. And if not, I just do the next right thing. I hope that answers your question. Danny?
See, I've always wanted to develop a meditation practice, and I finally was able to do it daily during the pandemic. I developed a morning ritual where I wake up early before anyone in my house. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, my husband, and a dog. So, you know, they all wake up pretty early, but I started like setting the alarm and waking up earlier and having just like, even if it's only an hour to myself, you know, where I can just sit and be and light a candle, have my tea and journal maybe. That's helped me enormously. Working out, you know, in the garden, like being with nature, trying to keep things light, you know, when all of, you know, the world is so heavy right now, and it can be, you know, can get to you, and allowing myself, like Rob was saying, if I'm sad one day, it's fine, you know, it's fine to be sad. There's so many reasons to be sad, and then there's also so many reasons to be grateful for and excited about, you know. And the other thing is stay connected with your people, even if it's on Zoom or phone calls, you know. That's has been really important to me. I miss people. I miss like what you see in the Blackout, like that's my life. I love hosting these gatherings, you know, and play music, and I miss that. I miss that. But I'm so grateful, you know, to have been able to do the Blackout. I feel it resonates in a different way right now. Like I could have never imagined, you know, that it would come out in the middle of a pandemic, you know, after what happened in Texas. Like the timing sometimes is just can plan those things, and then you make it work, you know, little work of art that has a life of its own, and then it comes out when it comes out, and it's perfect timing. So yeah, it's been cool to witness this kind of birth of the movie, you know, into the world at a moment like this.
Excellent. Well, once again, congratulations, you two, for bringing this beautiful movie. You guys had a really good ensemble with perfect synergy through the casting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Kate.